Hey everybody, so my name is LaPretty and I'm the Dominican Voodoo Spiritualist, and today I'm going to be doing a reading on Cardi B and Steffon Diggs and really the outcome of her career after this new album. So you guys know this past weekend Cardi B just released her second album finally called Am I the Drama? And the album did pretty well. It went platinum within 24 hours due to there being, so much promo and anticipation, but also due to Cardi B's announcement of her pregnancy. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like her being pregnant, I kind of picked it up, early on, because Cardi B, whenever she gets pregnant, she has that look and she starts wearing the big clothes and the poofy dresses and outfits and the baby, and the baby bump be pooching out every now and then. So it was obvious that she was pregnant. And she went on Gayle King and pretty much, talked about her album and how she believes in having multiple kids and so on and so forth. And then we have Steffon Diggs, who's her boyfriend, who has multiple kids, by other women, and he's in the process of having even more kids by other women in the midst of Cardi B having her first baby with him. And then you have the cloud that's above Cardi B's career with the big question mark as to where it's going to go from here. And then she also has a tour coming up within the next year to pretty much, solidify her space in the rap game with her first formal tour. So I'm going to go ahead and look into some things right quick. So let's look into the relationship of Cardi B and Steffon Diggs. Spirit and Universe, Universe Self, when it comes to Cardi B and Steffon Diggs, what is the atmosphere or the energy between these two in their relationship, or what type of relationship do they have? It's saying there's some tension going on in this relationship right now. It's a lot of it. It's like, look, I got my thing going, you got your thing going, so I go my way, you go your way, and we gonna stick together. We gonna make this thing work. Cause it's saying right now it's hot up in that bed and hot up in that house too. Like feelings are flaring, they not getting along, feelings are getting hurt. It's just bad energy. And Spirit is saying that the reason why this bad energy is because Cardi B feels like her moment has been ruined with the multiple baby mamas and the multiple, girls coming out saying, "Oh, I'm finna have your baby. You not here for me. What you doing with Cardi? What you doing with her?" So Cardi B feels as though her moment has been shattered because he's sort of kind of messy. And some people may say, well, she knew this, blah, 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 blah. But let's look at this, though. Let's see if she really did know this or what her reasoning is behind this. I'm picking up that she's jealous, is what it is. Yeah, there's a lot of jealousy going on here because she's not the main one, the only one. And she did kind of know about these multiple girlfriends and issues in the past with the baby mamas and questionable, births and, girlfriends having babies and whatnot. But it just seems like it was never confirmed or denied by him. But yeah, Cardi B is a little jealous because she's like, okay, you done ruined my moment. Like, I'm Cardi B. I'm the one that he's with. I'm the one that he wants. You could never be me. But now you done shattered our dreams and goals of being this, star couple because now here you come with a baby. And then you too over there with a baby. And now y'all got babies and got my man dipping and going over here with y'all. And you ruining my moment and ruining my shine. But yeah, Cardi B is upset. She's mad. Because when you think about it, her and Stefan Diggs, we only see them in like pictures, but it's not like it was when her and Offset was together. I mean, her and Offset was married, so that was the difference. But it's like with Cardi B and Stefan Diggs, it's like we never see them on dates. We never see them like getting caught by the paparazzi coming out together. It's just always like either Cardi and her kids being together or like Stefan Diggs, he just got caught, being with one of the baby mamas, getting out of the hospital, with the baby stroller, the car seat, or whatever. And it's like we don't really catch them in too many intimate moments. And then even with the video for Safe, that little light skinned dude that she put in there with the tattoos, I've seen him before. I think he's an actor, but she should have put her boyfriend in that video because I felt like it made a lot of sense because like this is your new man since Offset, and y'all have kind of been together for a while, and now you got a baby. And even in the video, she revealed she was pregnant with the little pregnancy test thing. And I'm saying, like, Steffon Diggs, he would have set that off, and that would have been like a sweet moment because the video was pretty good. My thing is with Cardi B in this album, even though it was kind of good, bad in between, it did have that good like early 2000s R&B rap feel. And in the video for Safe, it reminded me of a lot of the videos from the early 2Ks where you had like the dance numbers with the artists in one scene, and then you had like the story plot going on throughout the video, and then the guy or the girl screaming at each other, like her in bed and being pregnant, like wondering where you are. So like it was creative and it was pretty good when it came to like the video and everything. So kudos to her with the creativity part. But yeah, her and Steffon Diggs, they not doing too hot right now because she like, I'm mad. Like y'all done came and stole my shine and glory, and I'm supposed to be pregnant with this album, and now you got a baby and stuff. So no. But let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, what is going on as far as like the continuation of their relationship? Will they break up? Are they going to continue to be together for a facade? Will they make up? What's going to happen? They're going to make up, but it's just going to take a while. Yeah, they're going to make up, but they're going to try to like work some things out because they are deeply involved with each other. They're deeply in love. They really do care. So this is not like a rebound relationship or a relationship Cardi B is getting in and try to figure herself out before finding the next one. Like her and Steffon Diggs, they really do make a good couple. So they really are deeply in love. And they are going to try to work on some things. Communication could be better. The way that they run their household, the way they co-parent could be better as far as like separate households, having kids with separate people. But they're also going to be fixated on how they could get money together. So they are thinking about how they could do different business ordeals or business um, projects and whatnot together as far as them being a couple and making money. And I'm picking up there's going to be some type of new deal. Because you guys remember when Cardi B and Offset had that McDonald's meal right after Sweetie had her meal? And their meal really didn't do too well. And Cardi, she kind of set off that, bringing back that 90s, like, like that 90s, like, halfway, bang, like the sideways bang that she was wearing at the time. And I remember like her and Offset was like on like a little dinner date at McDonald's, and they kind of did this big old like Cardi B and Offset meal. I see her and Steffon Diggs kind of planning on doing something like that in the works, or doing something like that. But yeah, Cardi B, she ain't too happy about the baby mama, so mm. So let's see what's going on with like Cardi B's career. It's been a while since Cardi B has put out an album. I think it's been what, 7, 8 years. And in my opinion, I feel like Cardi B should have dropped the album during the pandemic, because during the pandemic she had already been famous for what, 4 or 5 years, including Vine, her being a stripper, and her being on Love and Hip Hop, the mixtapes, and Invasion of Privacy. So she had a healthy career at the time. And then, in the midst of the pandemic, she was pregnant with Wade. And then the Migos, started crumbling and falling. And then Takeoff died. And so there was a lot of different changes that happened, because in the midst, we had Summer Walker, who did, Still Over It. And her whole album was like a diary. And I felt like Cardi B could have took that moment and made that sophomore album like her diary, because I felt like that would have let us see the maturity and the growth and the change, and her like coming more into like womanhood and wifehood, being a mother a second time and still being a wife and dealing with like the whole trap rap empire kind of crumbling, because Cardi B and the Migos was big. Like when I lived in Las Vegas back in like 2018, like the Migos was big out there in Vegas. Like the nightclub Dre's, they were like a main hot topic at Dre's. I remember being told you could see them walking through like the fashion mall down there. They love Gucci. Remember when Offset used to wear like those like really furry slippers that came out at the time with like the tiger or something on the shoe. Like the Migos were like that group as far as like trap rap. And then they had like the Popeyes meal, and then they had like the snack wraps, and then Cardi B like had her version of the snack wrap. So they were like a really big deal as far as like trap rap because they had really set off the tone for like the new wave of trap music. And then with Cardi B, being Dominican, she did do some Spanish music, but it's like when she did Spanish music, it was when she was like more singing. Like her and Ozuna had La Modelo, and that was more of like a reggaeton type of song. And then they had that other song called Taki Taki that was pretty good. So Cardi did have some Spanish music, one or two songs that went viral, but she didn't really have too many other Spanish songs that went viral because at the time you had the Latin trap rappers that were really big alongside of the hip hop trap rappers that were big. So Cardi was able to like dibble dabble in both, but she was more successful in the hip hop arena. But yeah, Cardi B, she could have put out an album mainly during the pandemic because that would have been really big. She had WAP, then she had Tomorrow Too, then she had Up that was really big, and I think she could have took that as an opportunity to go even further. So let's see how Cardi B's career is doing right now, and what's going to be like the future as far as like this tour. Something is off. It's like with this new era that Cardi B is in, there's a lot of things that are off about this era. Like everything is not all peachy keen, everything is not smooth, and everything is not well put together. Cardi B feels drained, she feels worn down, and she feels left out because she feels as though she no longer has really anything left because the music industry has changed. A lot of people have started to morph into different things outside of musical artistry, and they have started to become just more of people and less about being a music person. I hope that makes sense. She's noticing how a lot of the people she came up with in the business, they're kind of like, getting out of the business because they're growing and morphing into new beings. And so she kind of feels kind of left out and kind of salty in a way because she feels betrayed by a lot of people. And Cardi B actually talked about that, how she couldn't get a lot of people on her album. So yeah, so she feels a little, jaded, a little misguided, and kind of hurt in a way because she feels as though, I was on my throne, I'm doing me, this is me. I used to be able to have my pickings amongst who I wanted, who I didn't want. And, I was a hot topic. Everybody wanted me over Nikki, so that's pretty much what she's dealing with. She's coming to the realization that things have changed and she's not the same anymore. So what is going to happen with this? So let's see what's going to happen as far as like this baby and as far as like this tour that's coming up. There's gonna be some disappointments. I'm seeing a lot of shadiness is going on here, a lot of murkiness in the water as far as this tour, and things are not gonna come together. Like the presentation is good and it's done, but there's gonna be like a lot of faultiness going on. I'm picking up like faulty wires and some like leaks in the roof. So some of these things that are gonna happen on the tour, I'm picking up where there's gonna be a possible fire that's going to cause like a cancellation. There's going to be some disappointing weather reports where things may have to be delayed as far as like the concert is concerned. And then some of these things may even be pushed back because of the birth or even the demise of her baby. Now, I'm not speaking anything into existence or speaking ill over her womb, but Cardi B is in a fragile state as far as her pregnancy because she talked about how her previous pregnancy was pre-eclamptic. Cardi B was small when she was pregnant with Blossom, and I've never been pregnant before, so I've never experienced pregnancy or anything, but You can just tell when a woman is carrying to full term healthy and when she's sick or doing things too fast and it's causing an early or premature birth. Because Cardi B was pretty small. She had Blossom. And there was some complications and whatnot. And I think Cardi B kind of said that with the last baby that she had. Her baby was still healthy, but she did kind of come almost out too small and too soon. I'm seeing here where things are gonna run smoothly for the most part as far as the intro of the tour and of the concert, but there's gonna be like a lot of faulty things going on. There's gonna be a lot of sadness, dreariness, disappointment, postpartum depression, delays, and just a lot of just disappointments and sadness and things that are just not gonna work in her favor. And the thing is with this baby too, there could be like a demise or there could be some type of birth wounds that she's going to be dealing with. So it's like with this baby is going to cause some like contemplations and whatnot. And she's not, and I'm going to see the birth of her baby because Cardi B just announced this baby. Cardi B looks as though she could be at least 4 to 6 months pregnant, but she's still kind of small. So let's look and see. Okay, when is Cardi B supposed to have this baby, and when is she going to have this baby, and what is this birth experience going to be like for her? Early late December is what's going on with this birth. Mid to late January, so either early or late December or mid to late January is when this baby's gonna come. But I'm also seeing some things about some trauma. There's gonna be some like traumatic events that are gonna occur with this birth and with this baby. There's gonna be some growing pains that's gonna need to be experienced, and it's gonna take a lot of patience. So Cardi B is gonna have to like really heal with this baby because her baby and even herself is at a very fragile state right now. But it's saying that in the midst of all of this, she is going to overcome and she's going to learn everything that she needs to learn from this pregnancy and from life, from love, from relationships. So she's pretty much going to gain that middle ground. But as far as this tour, she really won't be dancing that much and she may even be doing it from a screen. So I'm picking up that when it comes to Cardi B, like doing this tour and whatnot, she is gonna have the baby and she's gonna bring the baby full to full term. But when it comes to this rollout tour, she's gonna be thinking about her health more than ever. So instead of Cardi B dancing and flipping out on stage, she may make 1 or 2 appearances on stage. And for the most part, she just may do like a screen appearance where she's gonna be singing or rapping or dancing in front of a green screen, and it's just gonna be broadcasted through like the screen, and it's mainly gonna be due to her trying to heal from her baby. But let's see what's in store for Cardi B as far as like her career. So after Am I the Drama, and after this tour, what's going to be in store for Cardi B in her career? So it's saying that Cardi B is going to stick to her guns as far as like her trajectory, as far as like helping and catering and serving her community, more so towards the Latin community. So Cardi B, of course, is Dominican, and I do see where she's going to start doing more outreach for her community, more outpouring of love and support and educational opportunities. So she is going to start like going to schools and going to like different districts and speaking to people, especially kids. She's gonna be like, almost like the ratchet hip hop Mother Teresa, I'm seeing, where she's gonna be more so like teaching things to people about being gifted and talented and not being raised with much, but learning how to have more than what you could ever ask for. So yeah, Cardi B is gonna come into like an awakening where she's going to start being more strategic about how she's seen and how she looks. But she is going to be like the Mother Teresa. She's going to be like a one woman standing. like a one woman show, and she's gonna be like this new and more upgraded and emerged and more mature Cardi B. Excuse me. So that's pretty much what is the trajectory of Cardi B. So she is gonna change, but I do see a hiatus of maybe about 3 to 4 years. So Cardi B, she is gonna focus on like raising her kids, trying to get her kids, and I'm gonna see she's gonna try to be more so with Blossom more often, because it's like with this third middle child, she's gonna kind of get scrunched under that fourth child, and they're both gonna be like being raised together and leveled up together. But I do see where she's gonna focus more on being with the middle child as she does with the last child, because she really wants to bond and have like a thing going on with this third child, because it just seems like with Blossom was like the last little baby from Offset, and then like complete 360, now you got another baby. And it's like Blossom is kind of like the scrunch kid. She's like Culture and then Wave and then just Blossom, and then you got another baby coming in, and so she's kind of like squished in between like the new baby and the last baby. So she's gonna try to like her. She's gonna try her best to try to bond with that third child while she's raising the fourth one. But I do see her becoming like, more strategic as to how she raises her kids, and I don't really see too many kids coming after this. And so with this fourth baby, she's gonna take a hiatus and a break from having kids. And she does plan on having more kids. I do see about maybe 6 or 7 kids in total that she wants to have. But she probably won't have these kids until the next 3 to 4 years. Because she really want to focus on making sure that she grows and develops and really loves on this first set of kids before she gets to the next set of kids. So I hope you all like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and leave positive comments in the comment section. And have a good day.